Hello everyone. Welcome to the classroom. Yeah, this is the classroom that we really didn't expect to see again, right? The last semester we had our first experience in the online classroom, which was awful, at least to me. It was pretty much awful experience. So I really didn't want to have that one again for this semester. But unfortunately, in recent situation in South Korea has been getting a little bit more serious. So the government announced the stage 2 social distancing policy, and also the university HQ announced stage 3 social distancing in our classroom. So in principle, we cannot meet in classroom for a while at least, and we expect the full semester for the online class. That's bad. That's pretty much bad because as we knew from our last semester's experience, in-person type of class will be a little bit more efficient in terms of understanding the content of the course because you can directly ask professors which you don't understand quite well, and the professors can answer immediately in person. So from this experience, I newly realized the importance of meeting people. And I guess you have the similar experience or similar lesson in life as well. But anyway, this is introductory video for the course of Principles of Economics, which is opened for some, I don't know how to say in English, 연계전공. Um, anyway, so you create your own major, which name is the Asia Business, right? So Asia Business major includes some economics class. So my major is economics, so that's the reason why I study with you guys about the principles of economics for this semester. So this is my first time to teach in the Asia Business major. So I'm pretty much excited to see the new guys out of my department, the Department of International Trade. But unfortunately, I cannot see your face in person. So I'm pretty much sad because I cannot see you guys. But as I will tell you, we may have a little bit similar chance to see each other by using some Zoom class, which is another type of complementary methodology for this type of this trend of coronavirus situation. But anyway, so we can just go over the page by page and we can see some important information about this course. My name is Kim Jong-hyuk. So Jong-hyuk is my first name and the Kim is my last name, a family name. And this course is Principles of Economics. So if you have the wrong classroom, then please get out of here as soon as possible. Okay, so I briefly mentioned about the objectives of the course. This is just the first course for economics classes. So if you are starting economics courses, then your starting point will be always principles of economics. So we assume that there is no one except me have some background knowledge about economics. But as we will talk later, maybe immediately the next class, everyone is involved in some economic activity. So we are living in a society where economic activities are happen second by second, hours by hours, and day by day. So economics is really close to our real life, but this course will study about economics. Economics is a little bit different from economic life or economic activity or something. They are closely related each other, but slightly different in terms of academic ways of thinking. So economics is the field of study which economists study. That's not a joke. And there is a certain way of thinking that many economists use to develop their logics, to find out the answers that they have some questions from their real life. So we'll study about what the economics is about as one of social science field. And we'll also study about the inside of the brain of economists. So we'll see how and what economists thinking about our real world. There is some specific logics or specific maybe logical flow of thinking that they have, and we'll look for why they think like that or how to develop their logics with that specific tools of methodology. So we just discuss about it. And third, many economists have their own opinion. If you have your own opinion, then you have to develop your argument by logics, and economists do the same thing. So we'll also see how they develop their argument to persuade other people, which is called a policy or the economic policy. So we'll see how they develop the logic of economic policy, which hugely affect our daily life. And lastly, we can understand something happening around our world by using that type of methodology many economists have been developing for years. So this course is partly a study about economists, and also in the other part, study about the economic activity. So we study about that in really basic level of understanding. So many economists love to use the mathematical methodology as their own language or their main language, but will minimize a chances to use the mathematical approach because this is the just beginning level. So we just try to understand some important lessons from the economist, not by using mathematical way. That's our goal, because this course should be easy to understand. Then after that, we can try to apply our knowledge to the real world. So that application process is the next step to do so, right? So this is just basic information, what kind of things you're gonna see from this course, and we'll just discuss step by step in very specific way. So the basic format of this course is written here. So due to the coronavirus 19 pandemic situation, we cannot meet at the real actual classroom. So we'll meet at the virtual classroom, which is provided by the university HQ. So if you log in our university's portal system, then you can go to the Cyber Campus page on the top tab on the main page of the portal site. Then you can go to some specific virtual classroom of the principles of economics. Then you can find out some tabs on the left side. And I will upload every videos and lecture note and practice problems there. Okay, so you can find out every information every resources, every materials from our cyber campus. And you can also upload your own materials, like you have some questions or if you have some ideas to develop the quality of our course, then you can also write down there. So we will communicate through the cyber campus. That's our main platform. Okay. And the main format of the lecture, which is pretty much important. And I'm thinking about uploading that recorded videos like this. Okay, so I record video first, then I will upload on the cyber campus. Then you have a specific period of time to watch the video on cyber campus, which will count your attendance rate. Okay, automatically they will count your attendance rate if you finish watching the whole video in the specific time period, which will be generally a week from the upload date. So for instance, if I upload this video today afternoon, then you're gonna have exactly 7 days to watch on the cyber campus. Then you can just freely enjoy watching the whole video at the first time. Okay, then your attendance rate will be automatically tracked by the system. But some students really want to watch the video again, or even they want to skip some part of the video because I will throw out some shitty jokes during the class, and many students don't want to see it again because the joke was pretty shitty and it is not fun. So they want to skip the video, but if you watch the video on the cyber campus, then you cannot skip that part. If you push the play button on the cyber campus video, then there will be no skip function or something on that cyber campus. So I will upload the video on the YouTube site after a week, after your attendance rate was checked. Then I will upload the video on the YouTube, my YouTube account. My YouTube account is not famous. Don't worry about it. You know, subscribers are maybe 50 or maybe 60, or my former student from the last semester. So don't worry about it. I'm not famous YouTuber, but I'm using YouTube to provide the videos for the students. Okay, so on the second time, if you watch the same video on the second time, then you can skip some part, or you can just repeat some specific important part of the video for your own study. But your attendance rate will not be tracked if you watch the video on the YouTube. All right. Okay, so that's the basic format. But I am also thinking about the Zoom real-time online lecture if a student wants, or if I decide it is needed to complement the quality of the courses. It will be announced 2 or 3 days before the date and time of the Zoom, but the attendance rate won't be checked for the Zoom in online lecture because it was not planned at the beginning of the semester. So it will not be a regular type of classes if you have the Zoom classes announced by me, but it is a part of the classes. So you don't have to attend for the attendance rate, but it will be good for you to attend the irregular Zoom online lecture if it is announced, because I will talk about some specific topics which is pretty much difficult for the many students, so they need more explanations. Or if students request me to solve some practice problems together, because some problems are pretty much difficult, then we can solve the problems together on the Zoom, because on the Zoom it could be possible to interact each other, right? In this type of recorded video, I cannot see you guys. Even I cannot imagine how you look like. So I cannot have any questions from your side. It is just one directional, unidirectional way of dialogue. It is not actual dialogue. But if we have a Zoom in real time, then you can have a question. If I have something, then you can have a comment on my action, Or if my explanations are not enough in some specific part, then you can request to me, hey, you should explain more about that. Or you can skip this part because that is too easy. You can have some comments so we can interact each other if we have the Zoom class. So please stay tuned and keep posted on our cyber campus because I will announce the plan for the Zoom class if we have on the cyber campus. So please be alert on the cyber campus. And the main language is English. Main language is English. So I'm just keep continuing speaking English, but I know many students are Korean. So I will repeat in Korean. Okay? So I think 80%, not 80%, 70% of our students are Korean. So I assume most of you guys are Korean who have the Korean as the main language. But we have some German students. Welcome to the South Korea. I cannot see you guys, but yeah, I'm pretty excited to have some German students here. And we have also some Chinese guys who cannot speak in Korean. So English should be our main language. So I will speak English first, but I also understand speaking in English will decrease the understanding level of some Korean students. So I will repeat in Korean. So our speed of lecture is a little bit slower than expected, but I believe the more important thing is to make sure each student fully understands the important lessons from our lecture. 다시 한번 요약을 해드리겠습니다. 한국말로 이런 식으로 진행이 되는 거죠. 영어로 처음에 강의를 한 다음에 이 페이지에 대해서 다시 한국말로 반복해서 요약해서 설명을 해드리는 식으로 아마 강의가 진행이 될 거예요. 저는 이것도 나쁘지 않다고 생각하는 게 우리 이제 독일 교환학생들도 전부 국문과 소속으로 되어 있더라고요. 한국말을 배우고 싶어 하실 것 같아서 같은 내용을 한국말로 반복해서 설명해 드리는 것도 우리 한국말을 못하는 외국인 학생들한테도 나쁘지 않은 것 같다는 생각이 듭니다. 중요한 내용이니까 한국말로 다시 설명을 해드릴게요. 사이버 캠퍼스 상에서 거의 모든 정보가 교환이 되어 우리는 비대면으로 수업을 진행하니까 저는 거기에 강의 동영상을 녹화할 것이고 녹화해서 업로드를 할 것이고 여러분들은 거기서 사이버 캠퍼스 상에서 강의 동영상을 볼 수 있는 기한을 지정을 받습니다. 보통 일주일이에요. 즉 제가 오늘 강의 동영상을 올린다고 하면은 여러분들 일주일 동안 그 강의 동영상을 처음부터 끝까지 보시면 됩니다. 그러면 자동으로 출석이 체크가 될 거예요. 그런데 어떤 학생들의 경우에는 본인의 공부를 위해서 강의 동영상을 반복해서 보고 싶은 학생들이 있을 수 있잖아요. 이 학생들은 근데 사이버 캠퍼스 상에서 동영상을 보면 빨리 감기가 안 된대요. 그리고 뒤로 돌아갈 수도 없대요. 뛰어넘을 수도 없고 그렇게 세팅이 되어 있어요. 왜냐하면 그렇게 그거를 다 풀어버리면 다 빨리 감아버리고 출석을 만들어버리고 수업을 학생들이 안 들을 테니까 공부를 하기 위한 강제적인 시스템이죠. 때문에 두 번째 듣는 학생들은 굉장한 불편함이 있습니다. 그거를 방지하기 위해서 일주일이라는 출석 체크 기간이 끝난 다음에는 제가 유튜브에 똑같은 동영상을 다시 업로드를 할 거예요. 그리고 그 계정 주소는 공지사항을 통해서 알려드릴 겁니다. 여러분들은 두 번째로 보고 싶으시면은 거기로 가셔서 보시면 돼요. 그럼 유튜브에서 자유롭게 내비게이트를 하시면서 강의 동영상을 조절해서 보시면 됩니다. 근데 녹화된 강의 동영상만으로 부족할 때가 있어요. 제가 지난 학기에 수업을 해보니까 부족할 그런 순간들이 오더라고요. 그런 한계를 극복하기 위해서 줌이라는 앱을 사용해서 실시간으로 비대면 강의를 진행할 수도 있습니다. 이 과목은 경제학 원론이기 때문에 그렇게 어려운 강의 내용이 거의 없어요. 어려운 강의 내용이 거의 없기 때문에 아마도 우리가 할지 안 할지 모르겠지만 만에 하나 여러분들이 뭐 연습 문제를 같이 풀어달라거나 아니면 좀 어려운 내용이 나와서 좀 본인들이 질문을 해가면서 공부를 하고 싶은 그런 리퀘스트가 왔을 경우에는 수업 시간을 이용해서 줌으로 다시 수업을 합니다. 그럼 여러분들은 참석을 하시면 되는데 중요한 것은 이 줌 수업은 출석 체크가 안 돼요. 물론 출석 체크 설정을 할 수 있습니다. 근데 저는 안 할 거예요. 왜냐하면 강의 계획서에 우선 제가 적어드리지 않았고 강의 계획서에 적어놓았다고 하더라도 비정기적으로 진행이 되기 때문에 우리는 물론 수업 시간을 활용해서 정해진 수업 시간을 활용해서 줌 수업을 하겠지만 기본적으로 제공되는 녹화된 강의 동영상을 시청하시는 것만으로 출석은 충분히 다 충족시킬 수 있게끔 그렇게 설정을 할 생각입니다. 여기까지가 수업과 관련된 중요한 내용들이었습니다. 이해가 되시죠? 다시 영어로 돌아갑시다. Okay, so there are something you have to do and there are something you don't have to do. So we can separate one from the other. First, you should do these things. First, you should take the class. As we already discussed before, you cannot go to the school physically, but by using the cyber campus, you can still attend the class by clicking some buttons, right? So whenever I upload the video, then you can watch the video. That's it, right? Please keep in your mind there is a deadline for watching the video for your attendance rate. That should be a week, a little bit longer than a week maybe. I will set up each video. So watching the video is the first thing you should do. And the second thing is to take the midterm and the final exam. Midterm and final exams will be in-person things, which means that you have to physically come to school to take the midterm and take the final exam. If you cannot go to the midterm or final exam, you will be in trouble. Specifically, if you don't take your final exam, then you will be automatically be given the F grade. So please keep in your mind, you should come to school to take the exams. But if the government announced the social distancing policy to upgrade from stage 2 to stage 3, then the story will be totally different. If we have the stage 3 social distancing policy, then we cannot meet each other at all. So our midterm and the final exams will be converted to the online type. I will announce a specific rules or specific information about the midterm and the final if it is changed to the online type. I will announce about that later. So that's just things to do. And there are something you don't have to do. It is pretty much recommended or it is pretty much suggested, but it is not included in your grading part. The first, I will give you many practice problems. After finishing each chapter, then I will upload the practice problems. So you can solve the practice problems by yourself, but there will be also the answer keys attached to the practice problems. So you can just check by yourself. And it is not homework, which means that you don't have to submit the practice problems to me. I will not check if you solve or if you don't solve, right? So please utilize that practice problems just for yourself, not for me. That's the first thing you don't have to do. And the second thing, I recommend students to co-work each other to prepare for the exam, because working together, discuss about some issues, discuss about some topics, or discuss about some specific practice problems are pretty much helpful for your exams. So I recommend you guys to do that, but it is not required. So if you prepare to study by yourself, then please go for it. But if you prepare to get together with your friends or with just unknown person, but you can just find out some good one, on our cyber campus, then you can just do that together. So that's another thing you don't have to do. 이 과목을 성공적으로 이수하기 위해서 여러분들이 하셔야 될 것이 있고, 뭐 굳이 안 하셔도 되는 것이 있습니다. 하셔야 되는 것은 첫째로 수업을 듣는 거죠. 수업은 제가 아까 말씀드린 것처럼 사이버 캠퍼스에 올라온 녹화된 강의 동영상을 정해진 기한 내에 보시면 됩니다. 그럼 자동으로 출석에 체크가 돼요. 또 하나, 만약에 줌 강의가 올라오면 줌 강의를 보시면 좋지만은 그것은 출석에 포함이 안 된다는 거 혹시 알고 계시면 좋겠고, 두 번째, 여러분들의 임무사항은 시험에 응시하는 겁니다. 우리는 중간시험과 기말시험이 있어요. 중간시험도 보셔야 되고 기말시험도 보셔야 되는데, 그 중에 특히 기말시험을 보지 않으시면 그 전까지 여러분들의 성적이 뭐 아무리 좋든 나쁘든 그거랑 상관없이 무조건 F 그레이드가 나가게 됩니다. 그러니까 기말시험은 반드시 보셔야 돼요. 만약에 기말시험이 공지가 된 이후에 기말시험을 보지 못하는 어떠한 상황이 발생을 하면은 반드시 저한테 연락을 하셔야 됩니다. 그것이 정당한 사유인지 아닌지 제가 판단을 해서 여러분들에게 도움을 드릴 수 있을 거예요. 각각의 챕터가 끝날 때마다 연습 문제를 제가 자료실에 업로드 할 거예요. 연습 문제는 그냥 여러분들이 풀어보시면 됩니다. 그것을 굳이 풀어서 저한테 다시 제출하실 필요는 없어요. 여러분들이 푸셨는지 안 푸셨는지 저는 확인을 안 할 겁니다. 여러분들이 그 문제를 여러분들 스스로 열심히 공부하셨다면은 반드시 중간고사나 기말고사에 큰 도움이 될 거예요. 그러니까 풀어보시는 것을 권유해 드리지만 반드시 풀으셔야 되는 어떤 숙제는 아니다. 그거 알고 계셨으면 좋겠습니다. Okay, so if you have any question about this introduction video, then you can just shoot me an email about the question or write down your question on the cyber campus, which is also a pretty good way to communicate with me. So midterm and the final exam will be in-person type, so you should come to the school to take those exams. But if the pandemic is getting more serious, then the situation will be different, then we'll discuss later. But in principle, midterm and the final should be in person, so please keep in mind. And the format of exam, I'm thinking about it, but in principle it will be the multiple choice type question. So I will give you the question paper and the OMR answer sheet paper. You can just give me the OMR sheet paper only. You can just keep the question papers. You can just give me together, but the only thing you should submit after finishing your exam is the OMR answer sheet. So you should bring the pen with the black color. The ball pen is okay. So this type of ball pen is okay. And this type of the water pen is okay. But the best pen for taking exam is this type of, it is called the computer sign pen in Korea. I don't know what it's called in the Europe or in the America, but you should bring this pen to take the exam. Okay, I will talk later about what should prepare for the exam technically. 중간고사, 기말고사는 대면 시험입니다. 즉 학교에 오셔서 보셔야 돼요. 만약에 사회적 거리두기가 3단계로 격상이 되면은 공식적으로 정부에 의해서 그러면은 상황이 달라집니다. 그때는 제가 다시 공지를 드리겠습니다. 만약에 시험을 보신다면 반드시 저한테 말씀을 해주시고요. 그리고 시험은 일단 기본적으로 객관식을 생각하고 있어요. 객관식은 사지선답니다. 4개 중에 하나를 찍는 거예요. 모든 답은 하나입니다. 근데 컴퓨터용 사인펜으로 이게 칠하여서 그 OMR 답안지만 저한테 주시면 돼요. 문제지는 가지고 가시면 됩니다. 근데 OMR 이 답안지에 이거 체크를 하기 위해서는 컴퓨터용 사인펜이 필요하겠죠. 근데 컴퓨터용 사인펜 뿐만이 아니라 볼펜이나 수성펜도 검은색이면은 인식이 된대요. 그래서 반드시 컴퓨터용 사인펜을 챙겨 오셔야 될 건 아니지만 만약에 답이 제대로 인식이 되지 않았다, 그건 여러분들의 책임입니다. 때문에 불안을 좀 줄이고 싶으시다면 컴퓨터용 사인펜을 챙겨 갖고 오시면 됩니다. 그리고 또 하나, 여러분들 스스로 방역을 책임지셔야 되기 때문에 물티슈라든지 아니면은 간이 소독제라든지 그리고 마스크 착용 이런 건 반드시 기본적으로 하고서 학교를 오시기를 바랍니다. So these are important dates to remember. So the first day of the class is the September 1st, and I set up the tentative midterm exam on the October 26th in the class time, afternoon. But you should arrive 30 minutes before the starting time of the exam because you should prepare for something for the health. Okay, so you should wash your hand and you should check your body temperature, and also you should find out the location, but there will be some specific route you should follow to enter some specific classroom during the exam period. So it is highly recommended to arrive the school building at least 30 minutes before the 1:30 afternoon. Okay. And the October 26th is the 8th week. Okay. So please mark this date. And I also expect our final exam on the December 14th, the same time, the afternoon, classroom time. So please keep in your mind your midterm and the final exam date. It depends on our decision making. If we decide to change the date, then we can do that. So if you have any better idea for our midterm or final exam date, then please send me an email or just write down your own post on the cyber campus. Also, I omitted one more important date, which is October 5th to October 12th. In this week, you can cancel this class. That's pretty much important. If you decide this course is not useful for your life, then you can cancel this class during this period. Officially, you can throw out this class. So a month is fully given to you to decide whether you can go on or if you stop there. So October 5th to October 12th is pretty much important week for you to decide if you cancel this class or not. 중요한 날짜가 크게 세 날짜가 있는데요. 두 개는 시험 날짜입니다. 아직 완벽하게 확정된 것은 아니지만 제 마음속엔 일단 이렇게 정해져 있어요. 10월 26일에 중간 시험을 보고요. 1시 반부터 2시 반까지입니다. 수업 시간이에요. 그리고 12월 14일에 기말고사를 봅니다. 역시 1시 반부터 2시 반까지 수업 시간이에요. 그래서 이 시간은 수업 시간으로 설정되어 있기 때문에 여러분들이 이 시간에 다른 시험이 있을 수가 없습니다. 다른 수업 시간이랑도 충돌이 되지 않을 거고요. 때문에 이 시간에 아마 모든 학생들이 당연히 올 수 있을 겁니다. 또 하나 말씀드리지 않은 중요한 날짜가 있는데 그거는 10월 5일부터 10월 12일까지예요. 이때는 수강 신청을 철회할 수 있는 기간입니다. 즉, 이 수업이 마음에 들지 않거나 여러분들 삶에 크게 도움이 되지 않거나 혹은 교수가 마음에 들지 않거나 뭐 어떤 이유에서든지 이 수업을 수강 신청을 철회하고 싶다면 이 날짜에 하시면 됩니다. 굉장히 중요한 날짜이기 때문에 여러분들 마음속에 간직하고 계셨으면 좋겠어요. 오케이. 잠시만요. Okay, these are important information about me, and it will be pretty much helpful if you remember this information. I'm from the Department of International Trade, so if you want to see me in person, it is possible if we have enough distance between us with some mask, then you can see each other. You can just go to the economics and the management building. The building number is E6, which is close to the main gate of the university. So if you enter the main gate of the university, then you can just go straight to the inside of the university. Then you can see our building on the right side. E6 is the building number, and my office number is 355, which is the third floor on the south side. My office hours are Monday and Wednesday afternoon, but if you have another class on that time, then you can shoot me an email to make an appointment. My email address is jungheuk@cnu.ac.kr. Pretty much simple. So you can just email me, then you can have some appointment to see each other. If you have any question about the course, or if you need any help from your university life, then you can just send me an email. Then I can reply in 48 hours. I promise you. In 48 hours, then I will reply to your email. But if you plan to visit my office, then we keep the rule, right? Keeping mask, washing your hands, and you can protect yourself from any possible virus infection. So with that rule, then you can see each other. So the remaining part is my tentative schedule. So this is principles of economics class. So we see both microeconomics and the macroeconomics part. In our first half of the semester, then we can go through the microeconomic stuffs, because microeconomics is the basic fundamental thing for the modern economic theory. So we can go for the microeconomics first. Then after that, after taking our midterm exam, then we can go for the macroeconomics. So in this week, we can get some introduction part. And in the second part, we start with the demand and supply, which are two main pillars to conduct the market mechanism. So understanding market is our first task, with the understanding of demand and supply. Then we can go through some characteristics of the market system, the elasticity, or the tax system, or economic welfare. These are all the important characteristics of the market system. Then we can study about the international trade rule, because international trade is pretty much important concept in our modern market mechanism. So we can study about why international trade is pretty much important, and why every person try to have the trade between each other. Then we can study, sometimes the market is not perfect. So we can study about the market failure, which is called externality. And if the market failed, then the government is needed. So we can study about some government rule. After that, we can start for understanding the types of market. The most common types of market is the perfect competitive market, or the monopoly, or oligopoly. So we can study like that part. After that, we can go for the macroeconomic part. We can study about the GDP or the GNI, which are the main indicator for the macroeconomic performance of a nation. Then we can study about some economic growth. So how fast or how much a nation can develop, or a nation can evolutionize by themselves. We can study about that. And the big part of the macroeconomics is a money flow. So we can study about the money and the inflation in the next chapter. And we can also study about some financial market, or the unemployment with the labor market system. Then we can just finish everything. So these are the tentative schedule of this course, but it can be changed. It can be deferred by my decision, but also by your decision. You can throw out the ideas if we go for the wrong direction, if you think like that. Or if you believe we're doing that things, our course can be developed in our quality, then you can just give me some suggestions by yourself. That's also possible, and it is always welcome. That's it. 제 강의실, 제 연구실 주소와 상담 가능 시간을 적어드렸어요. 저는 무역학과 소속입니다. 때문에 경상대학 건물에 있어요. 경상대학은 건물 번호가 E6인데 인문사회대학이랑은 좀 거리가 떨어져 있지만 충분히 걸어서 올 수 있는 거리입니다. 때문에 인문대에 계신 분들 혹은 사이대에 계신 분들 혹은 농경제 분들은 조금 걸어서 오시기에 고생스러울 수 있겠네요. 언덕을 넘어야 되잖아요. 저는 그 길을 굉장히 좋아하는데 산책 삼아서 한번 슬슬 걸어오시죠. 중요한 것은 저와 면담이 가능하다는 겁니다. 여러분들이 수업을 들으시다가 궁금한 부분이 있는데 수업 시간 중에 해결이 안 될 경우 혹은 뭐 경제학과 관련돼서 고민이 있으시거나 아니면 학교 생활에서 뭔가 문제가 있다. 그럴 때 활용하는 게 교수들입니다. 때문에 그다음에 뭐 다른 뭐 상담할 거리가 있다. 그러면은 제 연구실로 오시면 되는데 그냥 막 오시면 되는 게 아니라 상황이 상황이니만큼 마스크도 쓰시고 손도 한번 닦으시고 또 오시기 전에 뭐 담배 피시지 마시고 그냥 깔끔한 상태로 오시면 저를 만날 수 있습니다. 제가 부탁을 드립니다. 절대 오실 때 담배 피우고 오시지 마세요. 제 연구실은 프라이빗한 공간이기 때문에 저는 이 정도는 충분히 요구할 수 있다고 생각합니다. 월요일이나 수요일 오후에 보통 상담이 가능한데요. 이 시간에 다른 수업이 있으실 경우에는 다른 시간도 가능하니 미리 저한테 이메일을 보내주세요. 이메일 주소도 적어드렸습니다. 나머지 사항들은 매 주차별 강의 계획이에요. 근데 이대로 진행이 되지 않을 확률이 굉장히 높고요. 어쨌든 이 순서대로 진행이 된다고 생각하시면 됩니다. 한국어를 하시는 분들을 위해서 특별히 뭐 팁을 드리자면은 교과서가 필요하신 분들은 맨큐의 경제학 보시면 되고요. 저는 딱히 맨큐의 경제학의 모든 내용을 다 커버하진 않지만은 제가 학부 때 맨큐의 경제학으로 경제학 원론을 배웠고 지금까지도 맨큐의 경제학이 가장 훌륭한 경제학 원론 교과서라고 생각을 하기 때문에 그걸 기반으로 강의 노트를 만들거든요. 그래서 만약에 제 설명이 부족하거나 좀 더 자세하게 알고 싶은 부분이 있다면 맨큐의 경제학 최신판 보시면 됩니다. 제가 사드릴 수는 없고 너무 비싸거든요. 두께 이만하잖아요. 맞으면 죽을 것 같은 그런 두께인데 아무튼 그거 보시면 됩니다. 다른 질문 있으시면은 이메일로 남겨주세요. 그럼 제가 답변을 해드리겠습니다. 48시간 이내에는 답변이 가능합니다. 24시간까지는 자신이 없고요. Okay, so that's it. That's all information you got for this course. If you have more questions, then please send me an email or leave your message on the Cyber Campus. Then I will give you the reply with the more detailed information. And the next video will be uploaded on the Wednesday or no later than the Thursday afternoon. So you can see that video on this week as well. So there will be 2 videos per each week. It is our principle, but sometimes there will be only 1 video. Sometimes there will be the 3 or 4 video. So we don't know. It depends on how we are doing well or how we are doing bad. So things going to be changed. So keep it in your mind and stay tuned for every announcement from my side. Then you can have no problem with that, right? Thanks so much for watching this video, and yeah, that's it. See you on the next video. Thanks.